Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boy Mike, man. Another Midnight Madness, man. March Madness, midnight. The day 17 is here. It's officially the 17th on the East Coast. Shout out to my people who are out here in the chat. You guys are phenomenal. As always, I appreciate you guys. And let's get right into it, okay? Nick Donald with the first question of the evening, man. Check you out, bro. He says, what are your thoughts on McCrary Ball? Is he as fast or faster than Greenlaw? And how do you think him and Greenlaw's speed will play out on the field? It's a very, very good question. I don't recall what Dre Greenlaw's 40 time was. I know McCrary Ball ran a 4.51, but I'm not 100% sure about Greenlaw's. I know that Greenlaw looked a lot faster, as far as closing speed and all did. Now, I didn't get a chance to, look at McCrary Ball a whole lot. I think the one thing that's important here, in this system in particular, is more about being assignment tight than it is about being fast, the speed. Neither of those guys are going to be asked to do a lot of covering. So I'm not really worried about the speed as much as just knowing your assignments and being on the ball. And that's where Greenlaw is taking a couple of steps forward in his game, his development. So he probably has the edge there. But the Niners seem to like him. They brought him back. So, it's a good thing for McCrary Ball. All right. Can you do a show a week with a different content creator? Can you do a show a week with a different content creator each week? That's a good idea. That's a good idea, man. I'm actually going to put a little pin in that. Maybe I'll reach out to some people and see what we can come up with. All right. That's a very good idea. My man, DJ Malone is in the building. He says, hey, faithful, how's it going? So far, so good. How was your day? It was actually very interesting. Worked from home all day. Wasn't able to do the show last night because my wife had a really bad tooth infection. Just came on out of nowhere. So I was trying to take care of her throughout the day and throughout the night. And because of that, I stayed home so I could take her to the dentist when they finally opened up. But she's doing good now. She's not doing good, but she's doing better. They got the antibiotics and everything for her. So, we'll see how things work out. Question for the NBN crew. If Eric Davis were to move to safety, would he have been a free safety or a strong safety? I'm going to say free just because of his size. Not that, he didn't want to hit or anything like that. But I would say because of his size, I think he has decent range and all that too. So I would put that to use. I'm going to go with free safety. I will be sure to ask that question to the rest of the guys too, because I'm not sure what they would say. Good question, man. How do people expect Trey to come out and fix everything he was doing wrong last year and expect him to play like a top 10 QB when he hasn't been able to work on anything due to injury when he just needs reps? Nick, it's kind of a catch-22, right? Trey Lance is in this position where he has to come out and damn near be flawless for people to get off of his back. I think that, we saw Brock Purdy come in. Actually, believe it or not, I was just watching Brock Purdy's first start against Tampa. And he started a little rough, the spins in the wrong direction. The very, very first play of the game, he moves Christian McCaffrey from one side of the offensive line to the other, and there's no one there to pick up the free rusher, and he gets blasted right in the side of his head and his helmet. We ended up getting the penalty for it, and then they marched the ball down the field and scored. But those are hiccups and bumps that he was allowed and expected to go through, being, the last pick in the draft and things like that, right? I don't know if Trey Lance is going to be afforded those same mercies, those same errors. I don't know if people are going to have that same patience. And Purdy continued to make those kind of errors throughout the whole time he was playing. But again, he was a rookie. People aren't going to view Trey Lance as a rookie. They're going to view him as a third-round guy. A third-year guy now. You are the third overall pick. They're going to expect big things from Trey Lance, justly or unjustly. But I am excited to see what he can do in the system with all these weapons out here. Also, people forget there was no George Kittle. There was no Christian McCaffrey when Trey Lance was there. The offense did not look the same as it did once Brock Purdy took over. So we'll see what happens, man. We just have to try to be patient and block out the noise. You're going to hear a lot of it. You're going to hear a whole lot of it once he starts playing. Just got to try to block out the noise as much as you possibly can and stay focused. Look for gradual improvements, not for a finished product to walk out on the field week 1 of 2023 or preseason for that matter. People are going to be riding in preseason, so we'll see how it goes. DJ, am I the only one who hates people who are divisive? What about people who think having a different opinion is toxic? Hate is a strong word, but divisive is a very, very negative. People who purposely put wedges between people and ideas and things like that. It's a very, very it's a very frustrating thing to deal with. I don't think you're the only person that hates that though. And then what about people who think having a different opinion is toxic? Welcome to the 49ers fan base. If you don't have the same opinion as me, you're an idiot. And then if you change your mind later, you're not allowed to do that. You're going to ride with whatever opinion you had from the very first time you said something about someone or something. That seems to be the way this fan base operates. And I can't stand it. I absolutely cannot stand it. I like hearing people say, hey, I was wrong. That guy actually was better than I thought. Or I was wrong. This guy is worse than what I thought. I like seeing and hearing and recognizing people grow, So it's tough though, man. It's very tough, especially in social media age where people can type up and search for things that you said in the past and go from there. It's really, really rough, man. But, again, like I told Nick in the question ahead, just got to put up your blockers, man. Got to block it all out, Danny Albright, do you get daylight savings time? I do. So if you guys are in Arizona, we are actually probably on an hour earlier than you expect. From my understanding, Arizona does not have a daylight savings time. So that means that you guys are looking at this at a different time than what you've normally looked at it at. But we did have daylight savings time. Time went forward on Saturday night, Sunday morning at 2 a.m. We went from 2 a.m. right to 3 a.m. So, we went from 1:59 a.m. to 3 a.m. Sorry. And there was no 2 a.m. So, yeah. Can you give me your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers? Ooh, boy. Good question. Mount Rushmore has 4. All right. Ultimate Warrior was my favorite. Undertaker. I want to put some swag in there. I want to put some swag. Who was cool, man? Who was somebody I really liked that was I guess Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. I really don't want to put Hulk Hogan in there, but I will. You know what? No, I'm going to take Hulk Hogan out. I'm going to do Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, Stone Cold, because his attitude was just different. And damn, man, there's a lot of different guys. I'm thinking about Razor Ramon. I'm thinking about guys like Papa Shango, Earthquake, and Typhoon. Those guys were fun. The Bushwhack brothers. Man, who do I want to put in there? The last one I'm going to put Bret the Hitman Hart. Razor Ramon. Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret the Hitman Hart. That's what final answer. Bret Hart. All right. If our window is closing, how big of a window do we have? Does that allow time for Trey to grow? Can we have our cake and eat it too? All right, so good question. I think we still have a pretty big window, and I'm going to tell you why. I know I was looking at all the departures in the offseason, but here's what I know. Fred Warner, locked up for multiple more years. George Kittle, locked up for multiple more years. Trey Lance, locked up for multiple years. Deebo Samuel, locked up for multiple years. I don't know how long he's going to be here, but Trent Williams, locked up for multiple years. Um, you have your core on both sides of the ball. Nick Bosa, not yet locked up, but I can't imagine they don't extend him. So Nick Bosa is going to be there. Eric Armstead is locked up for a couple more years. Like the core on both sides of the ball is here for at least another 2 or 3 years. So that's how long the window is. The window is how long your core is together. Um, and then the team will continue to grow and change once they find their quarterback. So does it allow time for Trey to grow? Absolutely. Those guys are all here for at least 2 more years. That gives Trey all season to grow. And by the way, the growth rate has been sped up in the NFL. It's no longer, oh, we need to see 3 full seasons. You can see some changes in guys on a month-to-month basis in the NFL. And then in a system like this, that's so easy, you can see it with Brock. You can see it with Brock Purdy just from game to game. So I think we'll be okay. Clellan Ferrell, Mike, what's your opinion on him? Man, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, all right, let me start with, I think he was overdrafted. Okay. I think that watching him, he came from Clemson. I think he was on a really, really good line. And I think that he benefited from that. I didn't think that he was worthy of, being drafted at 4 overall, right? And then I'm a little concerned with someone who was drafted that high and the team didn't pick up their 5th year option, right? But it was the Raiders, and they didn't pick up anybody's 5th year option. And so that kind of makes me say, well, never mind. You got to throw all of that out. Here's what I do know. The kid had a great motor. All right. He's got that go get him attitude. He's got a nice little combination of power and speed. The speed not as much, but the power's there. I still respect the speed. He's just got to get coached up better. I want to reserve judgment for now. Judging someone based off of what they did in Oakland, I just don't think it's fair. And I said Oakland because that's where it started. I know he ended up with Las Vegas and after the move and all that, but he was drafted by Oakland. And I'm not gonna, I can't. What cigars do you recommend? I always forget names of good ones. It depends on the individual, Jerry. I can tell you this: I've never had a bad Padron. Any Padron is a good one. So I've always liked those. No. I'm in the middle of a show. What are you doing? Any Padron is a good one. I've always had a good time smoking a Padron. My favorite is the Flathead. They it's a CAO brand, but Flathead makes a couple of different ones. They are really good as well. Can you get your head out of my face? So I like Flathead a lot. Those are good ones. All right. But Padron is a nice smooth smoke. Flathead is a little bit more heavy. Mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me? My dog just ripped all my wires out of my laptop. So I apologize about mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. All right, I think we're back here. But yeah, so CAO Flatheads are my favorites. But Padron, if you don't mind spending it, they're really, really good. What's the highest comp pick you can get? Is it a third? Yes. The highest comp pick you can get is a third. Absolutely. All right. I hate the time change. Yeah, me too, man. I'm still adjusting to it. This first week is usually the roughest. All right. I see this. The Rock, he doesn't make my Mount Rushmore. I stopped watching wrestling late 80s, early 90s. And so that's why all my guys were old, Bret Hart, Stone Cold. There was this guy named Gold Dust or Angel Dust or some shit like that. He was a late addition. That was probably like the last of the guys that I saw. So I don't know. Mike, what hoodie is that? It says always lit. It says always lit, man. It's just something comfortable that I like. This is actually one of my favorite hoodies, man. This is really good. Is the dog a good boy? Normally he is. Right now, I think he probably just needs to go outside. He's kind of like in my face and ripping the microphones and stuff out, ripping the wires out. But he's a he's a big baby. So he's only 4 months old, and what you guys just saw was him standing like his back legs are on the floor. He's just tall and big and goofy. So, but all right, guys, listen, we are up to our 15 minutes. I want to thank you all for your questions. I will be back same time, same place tomorrow. Actually, we're going to a strip club tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll be back at midnight. I will try to make sure I'm on at midnight. If not, maybe I'll do a show when I get home. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Subscribe, like, and tell somebody to give us a follow. All right. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good one. Y'all be safe. Peace.